Hey, welcome fellas to your first video in this brand new series of demystifying lead code. Lead code is considered to be great, and I say great, it means absolutely great for preparing coding interviews. Many questions on lead code are often asked with minor to no modifications in many different coding companies, and lead code is almost like a heaven for you if you are interested for your software development engineer interviews. Note, this series of videos does not have videos in one particular order. The videos were randomly created and posted together in this playlist. I will be using C++ to solve the problems throughout in this series. So I have posted the problem name on the title of each video. So without any further ado, let's jump right into code. Okay. So the problem that we have at hand right now is called single number. I have posted the problem link in the description of the video. I highly recommend you to first check out the problem. Give it your best attempt, and if you could not figure it out or you just want to know my approach too, then continue watching the video. So we are given a non-empty array of integers nums where every element appears twice except for one, and we have to find out that single one. We must implement a solution with linear runtime complexity, which simply means that the algorithm used must have a maximum runtime or time complexity of order of n, and we have to use constant extra space or O1 space complexity. Okay, so simply consider that we have an array, say 1 3 2 3 1. So majorly all elements in this array, as you can see, have a frequency of 2. Only the number 2 has the frequency of 1. Our objective is to find the number having the frequency of 1. To approach this problem, I will be using the XOR operation between numbers. To understand the XOR operation, we must firstly understand how the XOR logic gate works. So let me just draw the truth table for the XOR logic gates. The XOR gate returns 0 whenever all the inputs it receives are the same. So let me place a 0 here, since these two inputs are same. And the XOR operation places a 1 where we have different inputs provided. So we place 1 here. So let me just take any two random numbers, say 5 and 7, and do the XOR operation on them. So first we write the numbers in binary format. So for 5 we write 101, and for 7 it's 111. Now we apply XOR here. As 1 and 1 are same, we put a 0 here. 0 and 1 are different, we place 1 here. And 1 and 1 are same, so we put a 0 here. Then we get 010 or 2 in decimal format. The XOR operation has some interesting properties to note. The XOR of any number with the same number is always 0, because each bit of the first number is same to the each bit of the second number, since same numbers were taken. Moreover, the XOR of a number with 0 results in the number taken, because whenever we do a XOR for a set as well as an unset bit, that is a bit with a value 1 or a value of 0, so we do the XOR of any number with any bit value with an unset bit or a bit of value 0, we get the original bit. Or simply 1 XOR 0 is equal to 1 and 0 XOR 0 is equal to 0. So all bits remain unchanged, causing us to get the original number as the result. Now, the third property for XOR is important as well. The third property says that if we XOR 3 or more numbers, then the order in which the numbers are XORed together does not matter. Or, in simple words, if we have A1, A2, A3 up till AN, the n numbers, then it does not matter in which order they are XORed together. So for the array 1 3 2 3 1, we first XOR the numbers. Since numbers exist in pairs, the numbers we can XOR them in, and we can XOR the numbers in any order. So the number 1 and 1, because they are same, the XOR results in a 0, and 3 and 3 also, the XOR is again 0. And now finally, since 0 XOR with any other number results in the number itself, the 2 here gets XORed with these zeros, and finally we get the result as 2, which is actually the number with the frequency of 1. So let's implement this in code. So first I use a for loop and just quickly XOR all the elements of the array. To apply a XOR in coding, we use the caret symbol between the elements. I store the result of the XOR operations in the variable answer, and then I simply return the answer. So let's just run the code. The sample test cases are successfully executed. So I just hit submit. So we get a success result. The runtime is 16 milliseconds, which is faster than 83.76% of C++ online submissions for single number. And memory usage is 16.8 MB, which is less than 98.84% of C++ online submissions for single number. I have implemented the algorithm in linear time complexity and in constant space. I think I did well. If you have any other approach in your mind, do comment out your solution in the comment section below. If you are enjoying this series of videos, feel consider subscribing to iTalk Code if you haven't yet subscribed. Also, do check out these cool videos. Till then, happy coding.